Welcome back to another episode of the Get Back Coach presented by Apollo Media. The table is set. The dust has settled and cleared. And Jay, we have a national championship. But tell the people who we are brought to you by.
So once again, proud to be partnered with BattleBets for this college football season. If you're wondering what BattleBets is, it is a 100% free fantasy gambling app. That means you're not placing actual bets. It's 100% free to play. The only way to gamble responsibly is by playing BattleBets, proving your college football knowledge against your friends and maybe some internet strangers. Obviously, if you want to get involved with BattleBets, download the app. Tell them that we sent you by selecting the Get Back Coach as your ambassador in the refer section. But Jake, let's get into it because we have a national championship to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So let's recap the semifinal games first. Wonderful, wonderful game. Miami versus Ole Miss. Miami beats them in an absolute thriller, Jay, in the Fiesta Bowl, 31-27. What is this?
That was my thriller dance. Sorry.
I was like, what is he doing? I never So here's the thing. Miami puts all this pressure on Chamberlain, doesn't get a single sack, which I think is very important in this story. But Ole Miss scores towards the end. Miami, Carson Beck, legacy drive, gets the game-winning touchdown. Miami ends up winning the football game.
Yeah. Miami, first of all, what a performance by Trinidad Chambliss. What an incredible story for this team, right? To even make it to the college football semifinals after Lane Kiffin leaves Oxford for Baton Rouge. You're going to an in-conference rival. I feel like that lit a fire under these guys. They played incredible football here at the end of the year. Ole Miss had a chance to win this game. They were in it from the beginning. This was super competitive. Didn't really feel like either team was pulling away. Chambliss, what he was able to do to get him down, and they're able to throw like a Hail Mary there at the end, right? It wasn't like, they didn't have any opportunity there. But the story here is for me is the trenches. Miami's just so good on defensive line and offensive line. Yes, they didn't end up getting a sack, but they're able to limit the damage done by Lacey in the running game. Such a good trench unit on both sides of the ball for Miami. And Carson Beck had a fantastic performance. A guy that was kind of, I wouldn't say chased out of Georgia, but I feel like it was kind of time for him to move on. He kind of needed to get out of there to find some greener pastures. And, Miami, as much as I've ripped on Mario Cristobal, I have to eat some crow here, right? Because I thought Miami was going to take a step back this year. They're playing for the national championship. The game management didn't completely come back to. I'm still scared about that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's still some shaky decisions made there, managing the clock by Cristobal, but Miami powers through it. They finally win a Fiesta Bowl. Obviously, that's a big notch for them. If you remember a certain game, I believe it was 2002, where a young Maurice Claret had a fantastic football game. This is, it's a program that has floated around. It's been one of those teams that we talk about often as somebody who's primed to compete with just the amount of talent they have. Finally living up to that standard, make it to a national championship. Excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, no, same. Like, here's the thing with Cristobal. Towards the end of the game, I want to give him some credit at the end of this game because Chris Fowler, who I very much I think it was Chris Fowler, very much respect, is like, are they just going to settle for the field goal here? I'm like, there's 50 seconds to go. No, go for the win. What are you like? No. And I like that Cristobal, I figured he would. I figured he'd go for it.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Love Carson Beck or hate him. That's such a huge moment for him to score that last touchdown, escape the pocket, kind of just opens up and then runs in. Huge moment for him, legacy drive for him. Also Fletcher, man.
Yeah.
Like you talked about the guys up front. Fletcher is a running back that is so good that, Miami's controlling the ball on offense in those trenches with Fletcher, a hard-nosed runner.
Yeah, and I feel like Fletcher is not a guy that we talked about a lot during the course of the season, but he
No.
stepped up in such a big way in the playoffs. I love him in pass pro too. Like he does the little things as a running back. Obviously, hurts still to talk about, but in the game against A&M, when Malachi Tony had that fumble in a crucial moment, Fletcher's the one that was the first one to him on the sideline, picked him up and said, "Hey,
Mhm.
we need you. We're gonna get that ball back. We're gonna go score." Unfortunately, they did.
Mhm.
Again, as an A&M fan,
Mhm.
didn't love that, but he's a guy that I've really enjoyed watching in this postseason. Excited to see what he does against Indiana in the national championship. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Jay, end of the game. Pass interference on the Hail Mary, yes or no?
I just don't think you ever call it.
No.
Like I think it probably was pass interference, but
It
that is
has to be
never called in
egregious.
that situation.
It has to be egregious, right? Like,
Yeah.
it has to be absolutely
Can you
egregious, and
imagine though, like of all the teams for it to happen to, if that would have happened to Miami?
yeah, again,
Yeah,
like,
in a Fiesta Bowl.
in a Fiesta Bowl. So, yeah, not only do they avenge, because they were talking about that Ohio State game, which we didn't really say too much about that storyline. They were all saying, avenge that loss for 0-2. We owe them one for 0-2. We owe them. And they got it. And then now it's,
How do you keep it
um,
going?
well, not only that, but you beat Ohio State, you avenge that loss, and then you grab a Fiesta Bowl. So
Yeah,
it's like almost like you truly did kind of event. No, now they have to beat in. If they beat Indiana, they would have truly avenged
all
the
three.
2002 loss. You beat
Because it's
Ohio
Ohio
State,
State, it's Fiesta Bowl, it's national
and
championship.
look at that.
Synergy.
We got to put that tweet out tomorrow.
Yeah, you gotta love the
That's
storylines, Jake. Gotta love
story.
storylines.
All right, so we go from one just absolute all-time classic game to one that was not.
Yeah.
In that Indiana thumps Oregon, Jay. Pick six to begin the game, and then Oregon has a wonderful drive, a very nice drive, and now it's 7-7. And Jay, I thought there, I'm like, okay, live bet Oregon cover, like this is going to be a close. This one's going to be close. This one's going to be a dogfight. And every chance Oregon had to give momentum to Indiana, they gave them. Just what two different fumbles.
Yeah.
It just was not a good day. And I know Whittingham was out, running back room banged up, and it kind of showed. Oregon had a rough time a very rough time on the ground. But yeah, that turnover on the goal line or black zone, that was rough because it was 21-7. I'm like, ooh, that may have been it in the second quarter.
Yeah, and just full transparency, I tuned out when it was 35-7. I was like, this one's done. And it was. Oregon does get some more points in the second half, but this game was over in the first half. Just it's what Indiana does well. It's a hallmark of Kurt Cignetti, just a super disciplined team. They execute their game plan. They play well. They take advantage of mistakes. Fernando Mendoza, 17 for 20, right? Not like a huge stat line as far as yardage, but he has 5 touchdowns.
Efficient.
Efficient, right?
Efficiency.
Efficient,
Mhm.
productive, the execution, the things that we've talked about. And they've just turned into a machine in these playoffs with what they've done to Alabama and Oregon in back-to-back weeks. Man, what a story, right? For Indiana to do this. Like nobody in their right mind would have ever even thought Indiana would sniff a college football playoff, let alone a championship.
Yep.
Now they've gone to the playoff 2 years and they're playing for a national championship. Kurt Cignetti had like back-to-back coach of the year, and I don't think there's any argument for it.
No.
What he's done with his program in Bloomington is unreal.
Yeah, and Kurt Cignetti ended up doing two things. One, he got buy-in from the university, so they're able to kind of work some transfers. Two, he relies on veteran guys, and I know some of our friends, Jay, people we associate with, definitely from south of the border, are very much, well, he's got all these, 22, 23-year-olds. That's kind of how college football was before.
Yeah.
Remember, like it was like, hey, if you're gonna win national titles, like you're gonna stack and load up for basically 1 or 2 years, where you're gonna have a bunch of redshirt seniors, and seniors, redshirt seniors, upperclassmen, and you're going to make a run at a national title. And that's what Indiana did this year. You match that with a good coach, and now even more financial backers, Mark Cuban getting involved.
Yeah.
And now we might see Indiana here to stay. But Kurt Cignetti, man, I mean, I've said it before. It might be the best turnaround in all of sports. It's up
It
there.
has to be. Yeah, it has to be. And not even it's almost like a rebirth, right? Like
Mhm.
this is a program, a dynasty being born, right? Because it's not
Yeah,
really a turnaround. They've never headed this direction
yeah,
before.
yeah,
So it's been awesome to see. And that brings us to the national championship.
yeah.
Indiana, Miami. Indiana is a 7.5 point favorite. Uh, 48 and a half is the over under. This game is taking place in Miami. Miami will be wearing the away jerseys, which is going to be a little bit weird.
Mm.
But it's going to be largely Miami crowd, I would think. Although the
Mhm.
Hoosiers did travel well.
I think they're still going to travel pretty well.
Yeah, I
I
mean
think they
the
still
get in price for this game is like $3,000, which is insane.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is going to be a fun matchup.
It is, and I think both defenses are going to be the key here. Indiana last week, Jay, really impressed me. They had 10 tackles for loss. That's a lot. Like
Yeah,
that's a lot. And Miami's going to bring it with their run game with Fletcher. Um so it's you say it all the time, Jay, styles make fights. It's defensive line. We're going to talk about the defensive line, Jay, or at least I am. You have Miami's pass rush, okay? And on Indiana, it's just this fundamentally sound gap scheme. And I think that right there is you get the guys going for quarterback, pass rush, tough on third down, ears pinned back with Miami. And Indiana, not flashy, but again, very big gap scheme type team and sneaky athletic dudes on that defensive line.
yeah. I mean, you talk about it. The discipline is going to be one in this because we saw some penalties
Mm.
almost bite Miami against Ole Miss. We saw a few penalties. You had a targeting penalty. They're going to be missing. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's going to be missing the first half because he got that targeting penalty in the second half
Right.
against Ole Miss. Uh, you know, those penalties are things that you just don't see from Indiana.
Nope.
So that's something to watch. But at the same time, like Hakeem Messidor and Ruben Bain are just a joy to watch. Miami's pretty solid in the middle too.
Mm.
The guys that they have on the interior, the defensive line, don't get as much attention because of how good Messidor and Bain are. But it's still a very, very good unit across the board. Uh, I look at Indiana's defensive line and they don't pop as much, right? But like you
Mhm.
said, they're so disciplined. They do a great job of letting the linebackers fit off of them, right? That's why they don't give up a ton of runs. Uh, they're just so good at playing assignment football and not committing those penalties, not letting drives get extended, right? On
Mhm.
third down, you don't get those pass interference or a roughing the passer or something that just allows that drive to keep going. Uh, so it's interesting. Both offensive lines really solid too, right? Like, I mean, Coogan watching him pull and make that block was a lot of fun for Indiana. Maui Noah and the guys on the Miami offensive line,
Mm.
super talented. So this is going to be a super fun matchup in the trenches. Can't wait to watch it play out. Uh, we got to get, I mean, the skill positions too, right?
Yeah.
Back in Mendoza, that's going to be a fun matchup. Let's go ahead and dive into that, Jake.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Mendoza and Beck against each other. I Beck has been playing some pretty good football. I just like Mendoza better under pressure. So I am going to give Mendoza kind of the edge there. Um, let's look at, I think running back is, I think, the more interesting tale with these two teams. We already talked about Fletcher, right, from Miami. Very hard nosed, tough runner, has done very well in the playoff. I think has really made a name for himself in the playoff, against a Indiana duo of Hemby and Black, two guys who kind of flew under the radar. Two other guys who have flown under the radar, I think, in college football. I think our Big Ten fans know. But other than that, I mean, I think Fletcher is better than both Hemby and Black, but the duo, and is that going to keep them fresh? Is Fletcher going to run out of gas? I don't think so. And then, of course, Malachi Tony's going to be the best guy on the field.
And the receiver position is an interesting one too, because I feel like Indiana has almost taken a different approach to wide receiver.
Mhm.
They have, I feel like the game of football has seen smaller receivers kind of reemerge, right? Like a guy like Malachi Tony, who's
Mhm.
under 6 foot. Indiana has some bigger guys, right? Like Surratt and those guys that they have
Mhm.
on the edges. It's 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and it's going to be some interesting matchups. I feel like for Miami to try to deal with that. But like you said, Malachi Tony is probably the best athlete on the field. Anytime he takes the gridiron, uh, will be interesting to see like how Indiana tries to play that, right? Like, are they, shutting him down and opening opportunities for the other Miami receivers who maybe don't have as much of the name recognition but are still solid, or is it going to
Corey
be
Becker.
yeah, backer, like,
Mhm.
or do you just kinda play your game?
Mhm.
I mean, again, this is just such a fun stylistic matchup. Cannot wait to see how it
Mhm.
turns out.
Yeah, and right here, offensive line as well. I think I like Indiana's offensive line more than Miami's. I think they are better at just handling that. And listen, they're going to have their hands full.
Yeah,
If we're going to see how good Indiana's offensive line actually is, when these two teams square up, because it's going to be the best pass rush they've seen all year.
yeah. I because that Miami defense is probably the best pass rushing unit in the nation.
Yeah.
If not the best, they are one of the best. Huge test for this Indiana offensive line. The one thing I'll say is, like, I feel like Signetti's going to be pretty good about how they attack it, right?
Mhm.
Like, I feel like he's going to be great at scheming things up. Uh, it's this is another part. I've talked about the coaching aspect, and I feel like there is a significant edge for Indiana
Mhm.
in the fact that
Yeah.
I just trust Signetti in a close game to manage the clock,
Mhm.
take care of it. I still like. I know I'm a broken record saying this, but I just do not trust Cristobal if the game comes down to clock management.
Yeah. Um, so who I'm going to say who I'm picking here. I've picked against Indiana this entire college football playoff. Okay. Not take like I did take Alabama money line. I am going to take Miami to cover the 7.5 because I believe this is going to be a good game. If I'm wrong, if Indiana covers this spread, we are talking about the best run in college football playoff history. Yes, Ohio State last year, but I think if they blow out Oregon, yes, this I think is more impressive just because of the type of guys you're doing it with. You are doing it with, yes, veteran players, but guys who are not at that high end talent that you're getting in high school. Again, 0 5 stars. I am taking Oregon to cover, or sorry, not Oregon,
Miami.
sorry, Miami to cover 7.5. And I feel absolutely terrible doing it.
Indiana's on too much of a run. They are just hot as hot can be. The way they're playing football right now, I think they beat Miami by 10 points. I am going to take the Hoosiers in this one. I think this is, like you said, the greatest playoff run that we've ever seen, certainly in this era of the 12-team playoff. And I mean, this is an Indiana team that's going to go down with the most wins in college football history.
Man, pass rush. I think that's the X factor.
Yeah.
Can Miami get pressure on Mendoza? If Indiana, here's the thing: if Indiana does handle the pressure, Indiana, I think you're correct. Indiana wins. I do think Miami gets some pressure on him. So really quick, Jay, some fun things before we leave here. Because I saw two things on social media today that I do want to talk that are college football related. One, there is a picture out there of Mark Rick, who used to coach Miami, longtime coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, putting up the U. Jay, are we put that on the screen? There we go. There we go. That's we'll clip that and we'll put it as the cover of the episode, and just to get the Indiana fans to like hate watch
Yeah.
this. Anyway,
Even though we both took Indiana to win.
yeah, I did not remember.
No, you took.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
I
you took
took.
Miami to
Yeah, sorry.
cover.
Yes, Indiana to win, Miami to cover. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so there's Mark Rick. Used to do camps when he was coaching Miami, and he was kind of out the door at Miami at that time. Again, really had a lot of wins at Miami, had a good amount of wins, but didn't get to that threshold that they wanted, and he was towards the end of his career. But he is with a young Malachi Tony in 2016, and I guess Malachi Tony basically said like that was his introduction to Miami, so it's always kind of been planted in his head. So like that just kind of shows the ripple effect here. By the way, I don't know if I did this on purpose, but R.I.P. Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead. I just said ripple, and it made me think of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a Dead song if
Yeah.
you weren't aware of that. Anyway, so the ripple effect is real in college football or in life. Where
It's the
what if
butterfly effect.
the butterfly effect? Yeah, ripple effect, but like, what if Mark Rick doesn't hold those camps? What if Mark Rick is like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm not doing these camps anymore, and just kind of, who knows? Is Malachi Tony still at Miami? I don't know. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? I don't know. I thought that was. I don't know. I thought that was.
It's
Pretty
just cool to see like these things come full circle, right? It's like Alex Caruso being a ball boy at Texas A&M growing
Yeah.
up and then going on to play. Just stories like that, right? Like I think A&M just sorry, I gotta stick with what I know.
Yeah.
Like there's pictures of Logan Lednicki, who is one of the key players of A&M's national championship volleyball effort, by the way. Whoop!
Ooh, there we go.
Had to get that one out. Like it's so cool to see kids grow up, and when they were fans as little kids, get to go on to do things. Jake, for you, it's like your brother, the picture with Brock Spack.
Brock
right?
Spack. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like seeing the way things shake out.
Mm-hmm.
These coaches may not even realize how big of the moments these are for the kids, but it shapes a lot of what happens.
Yeah.
Really, really cool to see that picture resurface and see Malachi Tony as a young and throwing up the U and now playing for a national championship for that university.
And what you said, we did mention this, but before we got on, but like Mark Rick, like all time good things said about him everywhere.
Yeah, like again, college football is a nasty business.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very rare that you have coaches that are talked about well from pretty much every corner of the profession and off the field. Mark Richt is one of those guys that I just like. I've never heard a bad thing about him. Like it seems like he's just a genuine good guy, which is super rare in the industry. But yeah, again, just really cool to see that picture of Richt and Tony. It also makes me feel ancient because I felt like Mark Richt was just at Miami.
I know, right? Well, I mean, you were out. You were out.
I think I was done. Yeah,
you were done. I was definitely. I think I was coaching at LAC at that time. Oh man. Oh yeah. Now it's hitting me.
Yeah,
the oldness is hitting me. Last thing, and I just saw it before we hopped on. Jay, this might be the most important news I've ever broke on here. The Illinois University football program is getting, apparently, the largest video board in college football for Memorial Stadium.
Hey, go ahead and pop the champagne. There's a Nailed it. If you don't know, Illinois is in Champaign. So there you go.
I feel
Champaign
like
Urbana.
I feel like the people who listen to us definitely know that fact.
Yeah.
I feel like we attract, I think, hardcore sicko college football people.
For the most part.
But anyway, like first of all, Illinois people, if Big Kurt is listening, I think that Memorial Stadium is one of the most underrated stadiums in college football. And I think that video board is going to make it even better.
Yeah.
It's like a cool little stadium.
I've never been. I'll have to get there.
I've never been either, but it's an old stadium that is, you can feel the history in it. And yeah, I need to I got to take a ride out there because it just looks beautiful. And now I want to see the largest video board in college football.
Hey, maybe that's what we do, Jake. When your boys, the Mansfield boys, do their trip,
Yeah.
we fly into Chicago,
Mhm.
take a little trip down the highway. I think it's
Ooh,
55 from
okay.
Chicago to Champaign, and go
Very
catch an Illini game.
I would love that. I would love nothing better. But yep, it's a shorter episode this week. But Jay, let's land this plane for everyone.
Yeah, we're here. It's the last college football game of the year. Thank you all so much for the support that we've had. Once again, download Battle Bets if you want to support us. Uh, let them know that we sent you. I mean, man, it flies by, doesn't it, Jake? It feels
It
like we
does,
were
man.
just started the season,
Mhm.
uh, and now we're here at the end of it. We're going to go into the off season. Have a lot of fun, rumors to talk about. Thankfully, a lot of the coaching carousel, at least for the college football side, is
Yep.
is shaken out, and we're
Mhm.
good there. But man, again, just so grateful for all the listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you who tune in and support us on a weekly basis. Really means the world to us. Cannot wait to see how this final game plays out. Uh, do all the things that help us grow as a podcast. 5 stars, like, subscribe, share with a friend. Word of mouth still works. And we will see you here after the national championship game for one last episode.
Yep, we will be live on Tuesday night. Pod will be Wednesday morning for our finale of season 5 of the Get Back Coach. From all of us here